I appreciate that people are having a hard time. Me too.
Yeah.
I work for a living. If I had all the money in the world, I would not be here. Okay? So I'm a working person, you know?
But when you make it seem like you're barely getting by and you're worried about feeding your grandkids.
Come on.
Come on.
No, she made it seem like she...
Ana Kasparian is destroying Whoopi Goldberg over Whoopi Goldberg's craziest comment yet. I mean, Whoopi has been sharing a lot of comments out there before, but this one really takes the cake so far. And Ana Kasparian couldn't wait to go ahead and let Whoopi Goldberg have it. So we have Ana Kasparian comments on the View on the Young Turks and everything, as Ana Kasparian and Schenck discussed the recent things with the Democrat Party from the election loss and everything. And here is Ana Kasparian completely going scorched earth on Whoopi Goldberg and everything. So let's go ahead and get right into it. And if you haven't done so already, enjoyed all the content, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, and please be sure to smash the like button on this video. Let's go ahead and get right into it.
There were millions and millions of people that felt heard, and that's what I'm trying to lock into. It won't change my stance, or maybe it will. I'm open to someone trying to convince me.
That Donald Trump is good for people?
If that's what you're hearing, you're missing my whole point.
I am.
I appreciate that people are having a hard time. Me too.
Yeah.
I work for a living.
Do you? All right, well, the ladies of The View are still trying to figure out what went wrong in the presidential election, with some still rejecting the idea that Democrats abandoning working class Americans certainly did not help their cause. Definitely hurt them in this election. What's even more interesting is how Whoopi Goldberg, someone who is worth tens of millions of dollars, views herself as a working class American. Let's take a look.
I appreciate that people are having a hard time. Me too.
Yeah.
I work for a living. If I had all the money in the world, I would not be here. Okay? So I'm a working person, you know? And my kid has to feed her family, you know? And my great-granddaughter has to be fed by her family. I know it's hard out there, but I also know that there are a lot of things that we just said, no, I'm just gonna go this way.
Right.
And a lot of that is also what happened. I love what she did, yay, you know? We talk to people all the time who say, this is what's bothering me. But the thing that's bothering everybody should not be the thing that puts 85% of other people in danger.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're saying.
I think the 60% of Americans who are living paycheck to paycheck already feel that they have been in danger.
Yeah. So, but she knows.
Ana Kasparian is definitely right about that. I mean, who is Whoopi Goldberg to say that? I'm pretty sure Whoopi Goldberg hasn't experienced like kinds of, she probably hasn't experienced poverty in decades, okay? Like Ana Kasparian said, Whoopi made like tens of millions of dollars and everything over her career and stuff, and currently today. And the fact of the matter is, it seems to me that Whoopi Goldberg is still out of touch, and Ana Kasparian and stuff is definitely has a good point where people who are living in poverty are suffering all the time, okay? All the time. Don't even know where the next meal is coming from, living paycheck to paycheck and everything. And also times where, you know, they got to make decisions on whether to feed their children or to keep the lights on. That's something that Whoopi, I'm pretty sure, hasn't experienced in decades. Okay, so let's go ahead and get right back into this discussion with Ana Kasparian and Schenck right quick.
Anna,
right,
she knows.
Right.
Now look, does she work for a living? Yeah, she does. She's a talk show host. That's working for a living.
Super hard work.
Okay, that's what we do. And by the way, sometimes it is hard work.
No, it is hard work. Okay, we don't just come on the show and like talk out of our asses. Like
now she has like 100 producers and one of 5 hosts. Like,
I also want to go ahead and put out there that for Whoopi to say that she's glad that people are suffering and everything or whatever, I mean, that she's basically doing the same thing that she's accusing Republicans of doing. Okay, and I just had to put that out there, though. She's a hypocrite, point blank. Sorry about that. Let's go and continue.
I've done that kind of show before, and it's super easy. But anyway, but I'm not taking that away from her. My point is, Whoopi, you can't say like you work for a living, and then I know your pain, etc., as if you're a person who isn't spectacularly wealthy. You have to at least acknowledge, look guys, I get it. I'm wealthy and I used to be poor, but I haven't been poor in a long, long time. But here's the ways that I could relate. Just be honest about it, no problem, right? But when you make it seem like you're barely getting by and you're worried about feeding your grandkids.
Come on.
Come on.
No, she made it seem like she's struggling and that she has no choice but to, really pick herself up every day and just head over to work, and it's like a lot of manual labor. Like the way she carried herself in that segment was ridiculous. And look, we don't know exactly how much she's worth. I want to be clear about that. There are some articles that keep citing celebrity net worth, which makes me want to pull my hair out of my head.
Yeah, that's nonsense.
Guys, that's based on nothing. Like people who believe that.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's a private citizen. She's not a public employee. So her earnings are not public information, but we can put some bits and pieces of what's been reported in the past together to figure out she's not a working class American, okay? So Goldberg was able to negotiate a salary for Sister Act 2 back in the habit between an estimated $7 million and $12 million, making Goldberg the highest paid actress in Hollywood at the time. In 2007, she joined The View as moderator and panelist alongside creator Barbara Walters, Joy Behar, Sherry Shepard, and Elizabeth Hasselbeck. In a 2016 report from Variety, Goldberg's one-year contract was estimated to be worth between $5 million and $6 million.
Yeah, you work for a living, but you're not a working class American. There's a difference.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's just, look, my point is, you don't understand what it's like to be a struggling American who's concerned about their financial stability. You get what I'm saying? Like
100%. No, look, we've covered The View a lot, unfortunately. And so the two things she said are just not remotely true. Which she's, about being a working class American. She said, Me Too. I guess maybe that's the new Me Too movement for rich people on TV. Look, oh, working class, me too, me too. Come on, guys, come on. It insults our intelligence, right?
So Whoopi is basically insulting everyone's intelligence by stating that, well, I know what it's like to have it work hard and everything, and I'm working and everything. But she's at this point, she's trying to be relatable, okay? And Ana Kasparian is definitely telling the truth, because of the fact of the matter is that when it comes to people who are Hollywood elites or any kind of elite and everything, they try to go ahead and virtue signal to people out there to go ahead and keep their support, because guess what? Guess what? I'm not sure if y'all heard about this, and I'm pretty sure Ana Kasparian and Cenk are going to mention it on the Young Turks in a future episode. But now Disney is about to have, The View become a little more conservative. Isn't that interesting? A little more conservative. Okay, a little more conservative. Try to go ahead and reach out there to Trump voters, because guess what? The people who voted for our president-elect, myself included, we're the ones who we're the customers, basically. Okay. And it's about time that these companies actually recognize that, because the fact of the matter is that without us, you wouldn't have the shows and stuff. And that's why a lot of shows are being canceled and everything. And also why a lot of movies are flopping. So let's go ahead and get back into this discussion with Ana Kasparian and Cenk from Young Turks.
But the second thing she said near the end there, if I understood it right, was she was saying, well, we talk to people all the time that disagree. Do you? I mean, I get it that you have you have the former Trump people, et cetera, but there are now never Trumpers have flipped and are on your side, and they gently bring up some points that other people might be thinking, et cetera, and then everybody yells, et cetera. But have you really brought on a right-wing populist to hash out the issues? No way. Do you accept criticism within the Democratic Party, let's say from progressives or populists?
Oh, definitely not.
Oh my God,
definitely
no way.
Not. Yeah.
They're famous for telling everyone in the Democratic Party, shut up and accept Biden, accept Kamala Harris, accept Hillary Clinton, bow your head. That's mainly what The View does. So that's why it insults our intelligence and it's just offensive, but forget offensive, it's annoying for her to say oh, we talk to people all the time, we're so open-minded. Come on,
look,
Whoopi.
In fact, it seemed like The View, we hadn't been covering The View all that much prior to the election because it got boring. It seemed like they mostly agreed on everything. But it is interesting to see how conflict has increased on that show following the outcome of the election, because Sunny Hostin especially does not want to accept that Democrats lost due to the fact that they have abandoned the working class. She's like totally in la la land about it, and so is Whoopi Goldberg. But Sunny Hostin's on another level, okay? But anyway, putting that aside, I'm gonna just give you a little more information because I want to juxtapose the kind of life Whoopi Goldberg lives and what average Americans are struggling with right now. So let's go to graphic 4 here. After landing her gig on The View, Goldberg relocated back to New York City, where she bought a full floor loft in Soho for $4 million.
Me too, she knows. She knows the working class.
She sold the 2-bedroom apartment in 2010 during the economic crash, of course, for just under $3 million, so she lost there. But in a search for more privacy, she moved to the New Jersey suburbs, purchasing a $2.8 million mansion in the gated community. Okay, so that's-
In New Jersey, $2.8 million will buy you a castle.
Okay, so that's the kind of life she's lived, and has been living. In the meantime, the Federal Reserve Bank of New York just came out with new data in regard to consumer debt, which is at an all-time high of $17.9 trillion, okay? Credit card balances increased by $24 billion to $1.17 trillion, as a record 600 million accounts are now open. Auto loan balances rose $18 billion to $1.64 trillion. Further, student loan balances grew by $21 billion to a record $1.61 trillion. And look, people are taking out lines of credit, they're maxing out their credit cards because they are struggling, okay? And since wages aren't keeping up with inflation, that is also leading to delinquencies. So let's look at that. Delinquency rates have also edged up from the previous quarter. About 126,000 consumers had a bankruptcy notation added to their credit reports in the third quarter, just the third quarter alone. Overall, 3.5% of outstanding debt was in some stage of delinquency, up from 3.2% in the second quarter.
So where does Whoopi, as well as others, including Sunny Hostin on The View, stand right there? That's what I want to know, because of the fact that they don't even know what it's like to go ahead and struggle as America. Some people up there, have like Whoopi and stuff, but it has just been decades. But then there's others who probably haven't, and then want to also complain about gender equality and stuff. What happened to that? What happened to that? That only comes up now when they talk about the loss to how Democrats lost to Trump, how Kamala lost to Trump and everything. Okay, but yeah, this is unfortunate that they're basically playing a small violin and they're trying to go ahead and try to woo us back to them and everything. But in reality, the people are gone.
So look, I give you guys that data because no, Whoopi, you're not in the same camp as the people who are frustrated and angry about the fact that they see less and less opportunity to build wealth in this country, and even worse, less and less opportunity to stay afloat when it comes to their personal finances.
So let me add one last thing here. Think about it. What are they most animated about, especially Sunny, but almost all of them? Racial issues, right? They're like, oh, race matters a lot. Okay, they love identity politics. Well, because racial issues would affect them, right? But and then liberal policies that they love, that would affect them, so they're very animated by it. But the economic issues don't affect them at all. They have to theoretically find a way to care if they look up the numbers, and maybe my granddaughter will run out of money in several, decades from now, right? I mean, they have to stretch and stretch to try to find a common bond. Since those issues are not important to them, but the other issues are, they focus on these issues instead of those.
100%, yep.
And that's the point we're making here. We're not saying like, they're rich, so that's bad. No, they earn their money in all different ways. I don't begrudge that, right? I'm just saying, guys, you're so out of touch with the average American.
Exactly.
And you don't know it. And that's why it feels like it almost feels like you're rubbing it in our face when you say that.
And I know.
And it's crazy because actually for once, Cenk is actually right when it comes down to that.
They don't mean to do that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I do think that for people who deliver the news or discuss or analyze what's happening in the country, it's a big problem when you look at pretty much every news organization and realize A lot of these people went to Ivy Leagues. A lot of these people come from affluent families. A lot of these people are totally disconnected from the vast majority of Americans and the struggles they face.
If you enjoyed what I'm sharing this video, go ahead, smash the like button, share this video far wide across social media. If you haven't done so already, enjoyed all the content that I put out there, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notifications. That way, you'll be notified of future uploads and updates. Till then, peace.